And we got a 1, a 2, a 3, and a hey now. Metal mic coming at you. Not deep in the bunker. Actually outside in my hobo cabin that I've built to store some of my inventory. Early morning. I think it's a little after 8 a.m. Minnesota time. Here I am. Hopefully, let me look at the screen real quick. We're not fogging up. The humidity's brutal. And I had this little old-fashioned, you better believe it, flip camera plugged in the basement. And so I got the AC running, and thus the flip camera itself is slightly cool and had fogged up. So what's been going on out there? I thought I would do a video, shoot the shit with my old-time followers, the ones that have been following me all the way back from 2009, back when we used to hit the dumpsters and old houses and abandoned buildings and all that glorious, glorious stuff. And just to let you know that even though I'm not as active, obviously, on the videos anymore, other than the promotion of the antique store, I try to do a video now and then, but I just wanted to let you know that the bug has not died. I have continued to go out there and hunt, and we had a passing in our family, and we inherited an entire estate. So we've been trying to fit in as much of that stuff into our own estate and things that we could actually use, and then trying to find new homes for all the other items. So I've been busting my ass doing that for the last 3 months, and just like the old school days, cleaning out an estate, just fucking hauling truckload after truckload. In the process, I've blown my shoulder out. It is absolutely destroyed. I'm on like 3 weeks of pain. It's just brutal. Old football injury. Nerf football injury, mind you. Never thrown a Nerf football. In the early 1990s, me and my buddy used to go and throw a Nerf football. Here, I'm going to check and see if the camera's steamed up. No, we still got a clean picture. And the thing you know with those Nerf footballs, they're as light as a feather. So we'd be whipping spirals 20 and 30 yards, maybe even 35 yards, just whipping them, cranking them, throwing them sometimes more high than long. And I must have tore my shoulder out, because I remember in the early 90s my arm would hurt so bad it would literally shake. And it's the same injury that I have right now, except luckily it's not shaking as brutal as it did then. But oh man, the pain. It literally feels like someone comes up behind me and sticks a frickin' knife right in my shoulder blade randomly throughout the day. And it has not gone away. And I've just continued to work. So with that being said, believe me, there's a point to all this information I'm sharing with you. I need to cut my nails. Don't ever say that this stuff is scripted. It ain't scripted. I hear raindrops. Today the forecast is rain. Is it raining though? Hey Vicky, this is my sweetest little puppy here, Vicky. She patrols my backyard, and she is the sweetest, kindest dog to all of our family, and we have 2 cats as well, and she is so gentle to them. But if you are a rodent or a rabbit, she is a monster, because she stalks her property. She clocks in, and she protects this whole backyard. So we get a little footage back here of the summertime news. So Vic will viciously destroy anything. Look at these. So I attempted to build my daughter something. I got her those rubber mats, and then I got some tiles to put over it, basketball court tiles, to give her the best opportunity to have her own little basketball court. So that being said, this is what we've been going through. So the other day I went to the antique store on Wednesday, and then whenever I go to the antique store, you can't take the junk man out of an old junk man like myself as I weave through the cabin. And so I dropped the load off, and yes, I've even incorporated a stick into the cabin, as we call it. This is a cool sign, though. Just to get off track here for a second, this parts and labor sign. This was found in a garage, and I bought from this woman at a garage sale. It's just painted, but it was her father's, and he had a business back in the oldest of days. And here's a great old electrical contracting service radio refrigerator sign, North Dakota. And this would, as you can see, the shape of it, kind of, that would go in a car window, maybe a sedan of some kind. And this odd metal sign that says, "While you are reading this, you are pissing on your shoe," hung above a urinal at Ron's Bar in Rice Street in St. Paul, Minnesota. And it's on metal. That's a big slab of steel. I wonder what's behind this paint. I should probably try to pull it off at some point and see if there's anything behind it other than it just being a big plate of steel. This sadly deteriorated and faded, molded dude's head was given to me by a guy at a garage sale years ago. It's obviously out of an old movie advertisement. It has seen better days and is doomed. A couple of old motorcycle tires that I purchased a few years ago thinking I could flip and sell. I have not flipped. I have not sold them. Another old rotted Chesterfield sign, a couple street signs he used, and Minnesota plates to help with the roofing. Another pitiful modern sign. Anyway, going into here, so when I was, now we'll round back to where I was starting. And so I went to the shop and I dropped off a bunch of shit. Not literally, it's just a word I use. And on the way home, I always go and I carve well, not the alleys. I do the streets where they put the garbage right out on the front, because obviously it's easier. I don't have to go do the alleys like I used to. Times have changed. And I found a really cool 1950s kitchen table. And so the last day, my shoulder's blown out. The house is full. I don't have space, but here I am. I'm still out there picking and junking. You can't stop. So I seen this great 1950s. I don't know if they call that Formica top. I forget what the type of tabletop it is, with the chrome, and it was probably good condition, but the color of it was red and it was not damaged on the top. So most of the chrome and what do they call that? Yeah, chrome was pitted and maybe just needed to be cleaned with some steel wool and would have shined up properly. But it was stable, and the table was flat, because a lot of those old tables will dip in the middle like this just from weight and abuse if someone's not taking care of them, putting heavy shit on them. But this was great. It had the leaf, and it was red. So against all sanity, I loaded it onto my truck, which I call the Great White, because it just devours junk. My pride and joy, the Great White Shark. And threw that up on there and brought it home and put it on Marketplace and sold it in one day for $60. And so I am fucking stoked. Why? Because I got my space back that I didn't have in the first place for it. And I saved a really cool table, and the woman that bought it wanted it because her grandmother had one. At least that was the story. And why do I doubt that? Because I think a lot of time people say that when they're trying to lock down a deal, they'll say, "Oh, my dad had one. I'm getting it for my dad. I'm getting it for my," and that way it kind of closes the deal. Whatever the case, I guess I believe her. I don't know. Growing up on the street, you tend to always not believe someone the first time, and then you have to process it before you can decide what you really feel. But more than likely, she wanted it because she had to have it. Maybe she's flipping it. I only had $60 on it, but it's gone. And I found it on the curb. And so this just goes to the guys that are out there. Maybe they're just starting, picking and junking. Just keep hitting those alleys. You can drive those alleys and those streets 364 times. And if you hit a dumpster one time, you can get a year's worth of inventory. And remember, if you hit a dumpster or you hit a huge pile of boxed and bagged old vintage junk, and you can see with your eyes, you can see when it's an old estate. You really can. You know what I used to do? I used to just grab it fucking all. I didn't sit there and try to go through the boxes. I'd grab it all, take it home, and then sort it. So I'd bring a whole fucking truck full home. But at that time, I really had a great way to process it, because my stepdad had a shop, and he had a dumpster in the back, so I could throw stuff out, sell stuff to him, bring stuff home. And then I lived in a trailer park, and they had a huge garbage can, and I could also do it there and do the same process. Now, I have a single garbage can. I can't really go and fill up my truck. I guess I would if it was the right situation, if I were to stumble onto something. But anyway, what I'm saying is, I'm still out there picking, and I told you about the table. I'm going to show you one more piece that I found that day. So then I'm driving home, and it was only about a block and a half away from my home. It is heavy, it is cumbersome, but it's old and it's cool, and I'm on the fence of whether I already took pictures and put it on Marketplace. I try to do that now immediately if something's coming in. Before I put it away, I take the photos and try to just fucking get it online. Try to move it out before I put it, because if you put it away, then you got to pull it out. And hey, I do that as well, so no one's perfect. But you try to discipline yourself. And so this is what I got here. It's this. Believe me, I'm going to get a better angle. Of course, I'm multitasker, so this is what happens. Okay, here we go. It's this old cabinet, and I'll try to get an angle of it. You can see its base. It's custom. It's an old store display. And so it's 3-tiered. But what's really great is, so these supports here are just, these are those old iron. So this thing could hold, you could easily put 3 milk crates across the bottom of record albums, another 2 milk crates right there. So this could hold literally 6 crates of record albums. And then this top one, you could have your stereo system, TV, or another 2 frickin' crates. Now that's a lot of weight, but the way that this thing is built, like a tank, it's just got all kinds of possibilities. If you were in retail, you can use this, obviously. If you were in your garage and you collected heavy things, or you just needed to store heavy things, electronics, I don't know why I keep thinking to myself, if you collected batteries, you could fucking store them on here because it's so heavy. It's a great piece. Now look here's the hoard. I've got all these old Hamm's bottles and Schmidt bottles. I gotta fucking get rid of them. Got these old milk bottles down here. I know you guys can barely see this shit. Now let's see what's down in here. Oh my god. What the fuck is in here? Just a whole bunch of iron and vintage stuff. I try to keep all my iron and glass out here. Heavy shit. But oh my god. Then I've got these old stackable. These are really cool too. I found them in an alley. These, each one, you can pull it off and use it individually, and then they stack. And I've got 1, 2, and 6. I've got 8 of them. So you could have them straight up, or you can have them in 2 small stacks. But look, I've got them just full of old tools, metal, just stuff that, I figure if it got wet, I could frickin' handle it. Here's a really old pedal car that has seen better days. Why I have it, I don't know. I purchased it just for this purpose. The horror. So look at Vicky here. So I built this little safe haven here for rodents. It's an old tree stump was in here, so the old fire pit covers it, and then I wrapped it around with some old fence, and then I stacked logs so they can't just smash through it. And thus, if there's little rabbits or whatever hell needs to survive, it has a chance against the monster. The monster Vic. Okay. Let's go in the cabin. More of the hoard. Let's see here. Yeah, this is my locking system. Look at this great. I had this at the shop. This great folk art church here. It's got glass colored windows. It used to be I've got the steeple for it. I've got it locally here for $100 on Marketplace. You need to fucking find a home for it. If you're watching this video and you live in Minnesota and you want this thing is really cool. It's got 3 windows on each side, across, and then there's some windows in the back as well, and then you could light it up and this thing would rock, and the shingling on it is insane. It's beautiful. So these are all the tubs. Oh my god. The horror. The horror. Now up here, probably these are all beer cans. I gotta get fucking rid of those. I know those 3 tubs are at least. And then, what was I going to show you? There was something in particular. Huh. Okay, pedal car. This. Look at these hideous old phones. I gotta clean these up and get these to the shop. Or put them on Marketplace. And hey, if you're local and you see anything that you're interested in, please let me know. And then I've got all these old baseball bats too. I've got some really cool ones. Let's go find those real quick and see. I have too many tools I have to get rid of. But yeah, so I've got this tub of baseball bats here. Tub. Old lube can. And so what's cool about those is there's probably about 10 in there that are really old, nice bats. God, I've had this cat. I found him in an alley. I've had him so fucking long. Do you love how I just bounce around in conversation? I can never stay on point. Well, that's it. I came outside, had a cup of coffee, got some filming with you, got to vent a little. Everybody hang in there. Keep hunting and junking. I do follow, I continue to donate, I continue to throw stuff out, and I continue to bring more into the horde. But I'm trying, man. And we're working hard, and we're trying to stay focused and disciplined. And the purge continues. Can't take this shit with you. I am trying to find homes for stuff, but it's just a matter of getting the energy. I kind of go in spurts. I'll get rid of a bunch, But it slows you down when you clean out your own family's estate, and you know. But it's not a bad thing. It's all a blessing. Everything's a blessing. The fact that I can even walk around and do this stuff, talk to you, even alive, is a fucking miracle. So everyone, I wish you all the best. Keep junking, keep hunting, and to those guys that are out there still busting it, hitting the alleys and stuff, I've got to have a few of my old timers that used to watch my videos still. Just keep hitting it, man. It will pay off. Just keep busting it. Remember, organize your inventory. Keep going through it. Update. Get rid of stuff. You know, save your best shit. Try to stash it. As my stepdad used to say, stash it. That's your money, man, for future years. You need it. If you can, hold on to your best stuff. But if you got to pay your bills and feed your family, sell it. When it comes down to that, survival is the most important, because none of this shit gets to come with us. It all has to go. That's the goal. Gotta fucking flush out, man. It's like you have to accumulate, but then there comes a point you have to flush out. But if you're still got a little bit of youth to you, like me, I got like a tiny tad. You know, maybe I got 10, maybe I got 20. You don't even know if you got a day. But whatever the case, you know, you have to at least hope to. And my God, if I can squeeze another 20 out of this life, I'll be fucking stoked. But whatever it is, every morning I say, you know, another day, another hour, another minute, another second, whatever it's going to be. You know, I'm just blessed. I'm stoked to be here, stoked to share it with you. Amazing life. It's beautiful, dude. Everybody, peace and love. Peace and love.